This morning I'm heading out to meet with a client. I've worked with him before. And so I thought it might be a wise idea today to talk about my thoughts on meetings. And look, I understand that meetings are not the most exciting thing to talk about, especially if you're following along in Vlogmas, but I'm going to try and put my own spin on it. Because in business life, meetings mean a lot.
Hello, Bruce.
How you doing?
Hello, hello.
Come on in, mate. Come on, go to sleep.
So let's face it, in a business world, most people don't like meetings. There is the old adage of bored, lonely, call a meeting. As a small business owner, I've come to have a love-hate relationship with meetings. I mean, they're an opportunity for me to pitch to potential clients and therefore bring money into the business, but at the same time, they remove me from actually completing work, so they're not always that productive. And just because you have a meeting doesn't mean that you're going to automatically receive work from it. Having spent the last 10 years working in an office environment, I'm actually pretty good at meetings, even if I do so myself. And so being a small business owner, I thought I'd talk about my experiences, which may assist you when you hold your meetings. And so here comes my top tips for meetings. Stupid as it sounds, my first piece to talk about would actually be whether you actually need to have a meeting. When I first started my business, I found that I would have a meeting with anyone and everyone. Meeting, North Pole? Fantastic, see you there. And whilst this got me out to talk to people and gauge interest in the products and services that I was trying to sell, it wasted a lot of time. What I now do is determine whether I actually need to have a meeting, and that's based through the value of the potential client, the scope of the work, and a general gut feel as to whether the work will actually progress. Because ultimately here in Perth, to have a 1 hour meeting actually can take up to 2.5 hours out of your day. When you think about it, there's the travel there and back, as well as the meeting itself, not forgetting any preparation that you need to do. And that segues nicely into my second tip, making sure you're prepared. So make sure you go to that meeting with an understanding as to what you're going to discuss and what outcome you want to get from it. Preparation for me usually involves reading up on what my client's latest activities are and going in with a set of questions that will hopefully give me some answers to drive us to the next stage with the client. I generally find that I have two types of meeting, structured and unstructured meetings, theoretical and practical meetings. What I do for a job is very creative, and therefore I have a lot of clients who know that they want the product, but they don't know how to get there. These theoretical or unstructured meetings are very much a brain dump. We spend time trying to understand the client's requirements and then working out what the best solution for them is. For these meetings, I find they are very much at the early stage of their process. A structured or practical meeting is the opposite of that. In most cases, we're already working with the client and we're really there to communicate and solve problems. It's a very hard and tangible meeting. My final tip for meetings would really be around summary and closeout. It is imperative, if you want your meetings to be efficient and a good use of your time, that everybody knows what actions they are going to take away. So you may choose to send an email or have a minutes of meetings. For me, I typically write down the actions that I need to undertake, but I also verbally reinforce with the client what actions they need to take. Typically, if I need something from the client to actually start my job, I will also email them after the meeting to make sure that happens. It's just so easy to forget after you've walked out of the meeting that you need to do something. I've also found that dividing my page into 3/4 and a quarter helps with my note taking. So in the 3/4 section, the main bulk of the page, I'll just write general notes that are memory joggers. In the quarter side of the page, I'll actually write actions that I need to take. And I've found that's a very good way of being able to quickly flick back and either refresh your memory or just note the actions. You don't have to search through because they're already pulled apart. My truly final tip about meetings is really designed specifically for those who run small businesses like I do. And that's basically that I feel you should try and get extra value from any meeting that you have with someone. There is always something to be learned. So I will typically speak with the small business owner to try and better understand what I can be doing better as a business. And it's strange, sometimes you get some fluffy feedback. Like today I was talking to one client about meditation and how that's helped their business. And other times you get more hard feedback. So for example, yesterday I was talking to someone about how they employ people. I think ultimately as small business owners, it's really imperative that we share stuff. We can always learn from one another, and I feel far more accomplished with a meeting when I walk out having learnt something that perhaps I can implement than actually about the meeting itself. I think on the relationship side, this also helps to build a better relationship between clients and customers. Hiya. It is clearly a lot later in the day. So anyway, I hope that's provided some insight into meetings. Hopefully this video hasn't been too boring, and hopefully it's provided some insight into how I run my meetings. Might be useful for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like literally like an hour before the concert. I was like, wow.
It's not on the vlog now.
So
It's not on the vlog.
Yeah.
What?
Where's-
We've got the camera on.
anything? Still vlogging.
Still vlogging.
Oh my god.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you just walk out like this, look boss.
Cheers guys, see you later.
Bye, thanks for coming.
That was just for the vlog, I'll come back in.
Meeting done for the day. Love it. As usual, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.